and Carrie with you. Hope you're having a good start to your morning.
All right, joining us here at the studio today, big warm welcome to Eddino.
Hey!
He is the music correspondent from the Straits Times. And how are you this morning?
I'm good.
Yeah?
This is slightly earlier than I usually start, but
Really?
it's always good.
Well, lucky
Really?
lah, lucky bugger.
Nice, cool morning.
Oh yeah. Hard
Who
to
do you
get-
work for, and how do we get your timing schedule?
Hey, we have the same employer.
Oh, hey, how come we're in here so early?
Different
Called
luck.
HR. Yeah.
Okay, so we want to talk about the Grammys, which
Yeah.
just happened a couple of days ago, right? Some groundbreaking wins. I don't know whether to say groundbreaking, controversial. I mean, I have my own thoughts.
Well, I think groundbreaking for sure.
I think groundbreaking.
Yeah,
for sure.
especially for the women. Which one do you think is the most impactful win for music, this time around?
I think the most obvious answer to that will be Beyonce's Album of the Year win.
Yeah.
Because I think it's been a Grammy anomaly that it's most decorated artist. She's
Yes.
the one who's won the most Grammys.
Yeah.
But she's never won the biggest prize of all. Yeah, so it's weird that I think like 4 or 5 times every time she's nominated and she loses.
Yeah.
But she wins all the other smaller awards.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So
yes.
it's a bit weird, right?
It is a bit strange. And for her to do it, is it odd that she did it with a country album?
It might sound odd, but you have to remember that Grammys is based in America. Even though the Academy itself is an American organization, even though the voters are from around the world. Do you know that we have local voters? Jeremy Montero, our jazz musician,
Yeah.
he's one of the 13,000
Yes.
voters around the
Yeah,
world.
yeah.
Correct.
But the way I see it, it's still quite US-centric.
Yeah.
And country is huge in America. It might not be in Singapore, but it's huge in America. So I think for a country album to win Album of the Year, it's not that strange to them.
I think a lot of people forget how much music has its roots
In
in country music.
That's true.
Yeah. Although, if you listen to the album Cowboy Carter, it's not really a country album
not,
per
it's not.
se. I mean, to win Album of the Year, I get it.
Yeah.
But to win in the category against Chris Stapleton, Casey Musgraves, in a category for country music, I feel like it's a slap in the face
I think
for
she
the
was
country musicians.
I think she was a breath of fresh air.
You know what? In America, they have the Country Music Awards. I think it's telling that I think Beyonce didn't win any of the big ones there.
Yeah.
But she goes to the Grammys and they give it to her.
Yeah.
So I guess it goes to show that the voting committee in the Grammys is slightly different from country
True.
music. It's
Ah.
people who listen very widely
Yeah,
to a lot of music, and maybe that's where they are coming from. The diverse views, that's where it's coming from.
Maybe, but for me also, maybe they feel like it's overdue because she's been passed over like 4 times, right? And I think the album that should have won was Lemonade.
Lemonade. Yeah,
Yes,
right. I love
right?
Lemonade. Yeah, that's right.
But that year she was up against Adele.
Yeah.
Who won? And so, yeah, they were like, okay lah, it's her turn finally. And then obviously last year, Jay-Z made such a big
Yeah.
hoo-ha on stage after
don't think
Taylor
that's a
Swift won.
coincidence.
No, it's not. Okay, so they're like, okay, let's give it to Beyonce. It's time.
I tell you what, we'll continue this conversation on Facebook Live. Make sure you go join us. We're talking about the Grammys, and this is where Carrie and I have 1 or 2 things we disagree about.
Yep.
The Morning Drive.
So we continue
Okay.
talking about the Grammys. I think, to say it's makeup that she won it, that people are trying to make up because she never won it before, I think that doesn't do the woman justice.
Oh, yeah,
doesn't.
for sure. I
love
think that's
Beyonce.
unfair.
I think it took a hell of a lot of courage for her to go country, and I think we all see country as a certain kind of sound.
Yeah.
Maybe she's trying
True.
to spread that sound.
She is.
It's like if you look at country music, there's also bluegrass.
There's bluegrass,
There's so many different types of country music, and she's just widening that.
She is.
and she's making it more accessible to a younger audience.
I did. Yeah, when I first heard that she was making a country album, I was a bit hesitant. Because personally, I'm not really into country. So I went into the CD, not CD, not that old school. So I was listening to the album on Spotify, and I was like, okay, the singles are very country, 16 carriages, and all that. And then suddenly you go into all the other albums and you're thinking that, wait a minute, this is country as well. So it's very interesting for someone like me who's not very well versed in country music to listen to the album and listen that that country is so much more than finger picking.
Exactly.
And things like that.
It's not just banjos and fiddles. There's a lot more
It's
to
not.
country music.
And I think
than
she
that.
brought in. There's a bit of political slant into it. I
Yes,
guess,
yes.
She's bringing like the whole history of black performers in country music.
Yeah.
She's touching into all that,
Yeah.
And the fact that she has people like Willie Nelson on the album itself means that all the greats agree with her, all the icons agree.
That what she's doing is right. So, maybe what she did was the right thing. Maybe she is a deserving winner.
I do enjoy the album, I must say.
Yeah. It is a
Okay.
good album.
It was a year for women in music. What do you think this means for the future of women in music? I mean, Alicia Keys gave a very powerful speech on that. Where do you think we're headed? More female musicians, songwriters, winning awards, getting their place in the sun.
Okay, I think in the past 1 year, in popular culture, like you're looking at the current contemporary popular culture, it's the female musicians who are leading the charge. This is, if you're looking at TikTok, you're looking at the charts.
Yeah.
Besides Beyonce, obviously Taylor Swift, you've got people like Charli XCX.
Yeah.
You've got, on the rap front, you've got Doechii. And all these people are the people who won at the Grammys. And I tell you, this is a stark contrast to 2018, I think. 2018 in the Grammys, right? There were 84 awards.
Yeah.
But only 17 female winners.
Yeah.
And then I think it was at the post-award ceremony, people asked the former CEO and president, why is this happening? Why is women underrepresented among the winners?
Yeah.
And he said something controversial, something like, women should step up if they want to win. That was super controversial. So much backlash. And then in the past few years, I think Grammy went through like some kind of course correction thing.
Yeah.
They revamped the voters. They put in more women. They put in more people from diverse backgrounds and all that. I think that's why we're starting to see a lot more female winners.
Yeah. But it was a year with a lot of buzz also for new artists. Teddy Swim. I'm a huge fan of Teddy Swim.
No, but Chappell Roan won. Yes.
Chappell Roan is
her.
unbelievable. What does their recognition say about the state of music now? I mean, the kind of talent that's breaking through.
The way I see it, it's showing how TikTok is shaping like popular music right now. It's been doing so for 6 years already, but it's seeping into the Grammys as well, which is seen as a traditional award show.
Yeah.
But this whole youth culture, like TikTok and all that, that's where they're getting their music.
Yeah.
That's where people like Benson Boone, Chappell Roan, Doechii are making their impact, and it's seeping into the Grammys.
Yeah, you can't deny the pool, the impact of social media, TikTok. Yeah,
yes, that's where the kids are getting their current music, and that's where all your best new artists made their name from.
I think particularly TikTok has taken some of the fear out of these younger people, because TikTok is very forgiving. I feel it's very forgiving.
Right. There's a lot of flaws in it, and that's fine.
Yeah.
They accept all the flaws. You see all the videos; they're not super polished.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So people are a lot more courageous now.
Yeah.
And with that, we discover a lot more new artists, which I think is absolutely brilliant.
Okay. So this was another controversy. I think Kendrick Lamar. Swept all 5 categories that he was nominated for.
Yeah.
And then winning.
For Not Like Us. For one song.
One song.
Yeah.
Which was essentially a track dissing
a diss
Drake.
track. Yeah.
And winning for Song of the Year.
Yeah.
Right? What's your take on that?
Well, I know it sounds funny. That's one of the things I wrote in my article, is like, it's a rap feud, which is normal, traditional in hip hop culture. That's normal. But is it the best song ever written in the past 6 months? The voters seemingly, think so. But like we were discussing earlier today, I think the song is not just a diss track. You look at the music video, you look at the lyrics. Kendrick was doing much more. He was using that attack on Drake, a rival rapper, to bring together his community. That's one of the reasons why it won Best Music Video as well. And music video is awesome because he's bringing in all these people from his city of Compton. All these Los Angeles West Coast rappers together.
Yeah.
And he's even bringing in all the rival gangs. If you look at the video, the Bloods and the Crips, this whole traditional rivalry things together just to diss one. It's like, your enemy is, you're getting together just to
The
fight
enemy
this-
of
this
my friend
extent.
is, yeah.
Correct.
I don't know.
correct.
I mean, in this
Yeah.
day and age, right, I feel like we should be spreading positivity, not hate. And then there are so many other worthy contenders in the category, right, for Song of the Year, like Billie Eilish, right, with Birds of a Feather, and yeah.
I think for me, why I'll take all these controversial new things is because it's bringing something new to the Grammys.
Something refreshing.
Because the Grammys have become so same old.
I think it's starting conversations, and I think that's what they
Yes.
want. That's what they want, for people to talk about it. And this is the whole point about award shows, right? People will argue and say, are you sure this is the best winner? Well, 13,000 Grammy voters seem to think so, but how about the rest of the world,
Yeah. I wonder if the people listening to us agree that shows like the Grammys every once in a while need a serious shake-up.
Okay, we're going back on live on 1FM to talk about Kanye West.
Oh, really?
That's something we have to talk about.
Really?
And his almost naked wife. So stay with us right here.
Oh, I can talk about that.
Oh, yes, all day long. That sounds of Spice Girls here on 1FM 91.3 and Stop taking us close to 9:30. It's the morning drive with the Flying Dutchman and Carrie, Chong, and we are here live with Eddino, music correspondent from the Straits Times, talking about the Grammys. We were just on Facebook Live. Yeah, thanks for joining us, Eddino.
No problem. Happy to be here.
So Kanye West.
Yeah. Kanye West.
Yes.
Turns out, I'm sure because it's gone viral, everyone has seen him on the red carpet with his wife, Bianca, and she was dressed in almost next to nothing.
Yeah, she was in nothing.
Right?
Yeah.
And he was uninvited.
Apparently he was uninvited.
Yeah. So do you think he was there to make a statement,
I
Or
think-
what was the agenda?
Kanye being Kanye, I'm pretty sure that was done to generate conversations around himself,
Of
even though he
course.
was not part of the
Yeah.
Grammys this
Yeah.
year. I follow him on Instagram because it's so interesting. Once in a blue moon, he'll post something and all that. And then his latest post yesterday was a screen capture of Google searches. And apparently, I don't know whether he tweaked it or it's true. I'm just assuming it's true.
Yeah.
The search for Kanye and Bianca was higher than Chaperone, than Kendrick Lamar, than whoever was winning and all that.
But that's only because of what she was not wearing.
Exactly, and that was the whole point. I think that was the whole thing that he was going for.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
people to talk about him. Look at me, hey guys,
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
forget about me.
Don't
Yeah,
the
yeah,
shock,
yeah.
shock
Yeah,
value.
forget about the Grammys, whoever is winning. and all that.
Yeah.
Okay. The performance lineup.
Yep.
All right. Was packed with a lot of electrifying moments. Which performance stood out to you as the most impactful?
I think my favorite bit was just before they announced Best New Artist. So they got pretty much most of them to come on and play their hit songs. And I think that's important because Grammys, I think, has a very big audience who might not be super in tune with the contemporary pop scene and all that. I think for them, it's an introduction. You might, if you just look at the nominees, who's Teddy Swims, who's Benson Boone, I might not know him.
Yeah,
If you're not on TikTok, you don't know him.
Yep.
And then you look at the performance and you're thinking that, oh my God, now I know why he's being nominated for Best New Artist. Like Benson Boone's performance. The guy was doing his
That's a
back
signature
flips.
moves lah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
but if
yeah,
you're not
yeah.
on TikTok, you wouldn't know who he is. And he's a great singer live.
Yes.
So I think, that bit. And then Chaperone with that literal Pink Pony Club,
Pink
giant
Pony Club.
Yeah, and so people know that Chaperone, if you just listen to music, you don't know what she's visually like,
Yeah.
videos and all that.
Yeah.
That's your introduction. She
Yeah.
has this whole campy thing going on. It's more than just the music. It's the whole performance, the whole theatrics.
I've got to say, I do look to the Grammys for that. I'm a very visual person. I find it hard to really latch on to music when I can't see the artist.
Really?
I want to see the artist. Like, I used to listen to Sam Smith.
Okay.
And I went, wow, really nice. And then I saw Sam Smith.
You didn't know what he looked at before you listened
Yeah,
to him.
and then I saw Sam Smith and I
Yeah.
went, oh my God, this guy is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
No,
A white guy. You try
his
it.
voice alone is
No,
just-
amazing. But and you want to, so I hear this voice and I go, so I need to see this person.
This super soulful voice,
Yeah,
right?
and then
Like-
you see him and you go, yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Like all men, visual creatures. What can I say? So with a new generation of artists, we talked about TikTok and all that. What do you think is something new we'll see from the Grammys in the future? more female musicians, more, these new artists discovered through TikTok and all that. What is the future of like music and the Grammys?
I think that the wave of female musicians is going to continue. Next year, I think we might see even more female winners. And I think there'll be even more focus on the best new artists this year, because previous Grammys, if you look at it, it's always been this balance between a lot of veteran artists on the show performing and all that, and then some of the new singers. But this year's one, I felt like it was like 80% new performers. And I think that's where it's heading. Because they're trying to stay relevant, of course, to the youth market, and that's what they're trying to do. I was surprised, like Beatles were nominated and won. One of the categories. Rolling Stones were nominated and won, but they were not on the main show.
No, they weren't.
These were all the awards given before the show, and that's telling, right? So they're saying that we recognize the veteran artists, we award you, but the main stage, we'll give it to the
because
young
it's hard. It's hard to put, the Rolling Stones on the main stage. There's not enough makeup in the planet to hide the wrinkles and everything.
There's always lighting.
It's very hard. I got one question I want to ask, only because I promised someone I would ask this question. Taylor Swift.
Yes.
Squat.
Yeah.
Is it fatigue?
I think it is. After many, many years of, I think the last year she won Album of the Year like 4 times in a row, and she was the first person to do that. If she was to win like 5 times in a row and beat Beyonce, I think there will be a huge uproar, and I think that the Grammys recognize that.
And you couldn't do it.
And it's still fine. I don't think there was a huge uproar that Taylor didn't win anything. I think people recognize this year that they've given Taylor all these awards. She's achieved so much. We all know that. She doesn't need any more Grammys to tell her that. She's
Very true.
Okay, one last question.
Okay.
What are you listening to now? Or, any new upcoming artists that we should know about that's not been featured yet?
Okay, I got to confess, Duichi, the best new artist, I only started listening to her like 2 months ago.
Okay.
After she was on that Katy Perry soundtrack, because and I was like, oh my god, so this is
blown away.
I was blown away.
Wow.
Because I'm a bit old school hip hop. So for the past few years, hip hop has been like very trap music, very that kind of like slowish thing. And then she brought in this energy which was very 80s Run DMC, a lot of energy and all that.
I think I'll like.
Yeah. So I was very surprised by that. I was like really getting with the album. And I was ashamed to admit it, I was a bit late.
Okay.
You guys who are not listening to Duichi right now,
okay, get started.
Album.
Yes. Okay, so there you have it. Thank you so much for joining us today. Eddino, music correspondent from the Straits Times, talked about the Grammys and all things music. Thanks for joining us, Eddino.
No problem. It was my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
The right way to start your day.
All right, here we go. Let's get started.